Hello, my name is Dr. Anhui from the Animal and Veterinary Service, a cluster of the National Parks Board in Singapore. We launched the cat management framework in September last year, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share it with you here at this conference. Let's start with a little context about Singapore. We have a population of about 6 million people in a small area of about 700 square kilometers. Despite our dense urban environment, our vision is to be a city in nature. Currently, we have about 40% green cover, including forests, urban parks, and gardens. Singapore has been free from rabies since 1953. This is our beautiful skyline at Marina Bay, and I welcome you to visit. Based on market reports by Euromonitor International, we have an estimated 94,000 cats in Singapore. This is a 15% increase in cat population since 2018. Cats are the second most popular pets in Singapore after dogs. About 80% of our residents live in high-rise government subsidized housing or HDB flats, as you can see in the top right. Until last year, cats were not allowed as pets in HDB, although there were many pet owners who did so. Here you can see an example of meshing or grills which some owners install to prevent the cats falling from height. We have many free-roaming cats in Singapore. Based on a 2021 survey conducted by AVS, we estimate 13,000 free-roaming cats in publicly accessible areas in Singapore. We call them community cats rather than stray cats, as we recognize them as part of the community, often cared for by caregivers. We use the term caregivers rather than feeders to emphasize their role encompasses more than just feeding. For example, they are encouraged to bring in cats for sterilization or seek veterinary attention if the cats are sick or injured. As we know, animal issues can be emotive. As part of our review of our cat management policy, we carried out extensive consultation. We held 2 rounds of online public surveys with over 30,000 responses received from diverse groups. We had focus group discussions with over 100 key stakeholders including cat owners, non-cat owners, community cat caregivers, cat fosterers and rescuers, vets, NGOs, and government agencies. Through these, we were able to better understand many of the issues people felt strongly about. For example, some felt that disputes and disamenities arose not because of the presence of cats, but because of irresponsible ownership. There were those who shared their phobia of cats, and those who likened community cats to the soul or spirit of the neighborhood. Overall, we received strong support for our proposed approach to cat management, with over 80% agreeing that pet cats should be microchipped and licensed, and over 90% agreeing for pet cats to be kept in HDB flats. Based on the feedback received, we further refined our policy, and on 1st September last year, we launched the cat management framework. This comprises pet cat licensing and microchipping, TNRM program for community cats, and education and outreach efforts. I will go through these in detail. First, we now require the mandatory microchipping and licensing of pet cats, similar to what we have in place for pet dogs. This helps enhance traceability, especially in the event of a disease outbreak. It also helps reunite lost pets and holds owners to greater accountability for the health and welfare of their pets. New cat ownership limits have been introduced. Cats are now allowed in HDB flats, up to 2 cats. For private premises such as condominiums or landed property, up to 3 cats or dogs or a combination of both. Importantly, owners can keep all their existing pet cats as long as their health and welfare are taken care of. Our pets are our family members and we should not abandon them. There is quite a lot of information on the new policy, so we have created a series of infographics in multiple languages to help the public understand it. You can see these infographics throughout my presentation. To raise standards of pet care, we introduced a new pet ownership course. The course is free, online, and available in multiple languages. Anyone can do the course, and it is mandatory for first-time dog or cat license applicants. Targeted at current or prospective dog or cat owners, the course covers biology, pet care and health, responsible pet ownership, and legislation. Here we have some screenshots, reading the body or language of a cat and how quickly a pair of unsterilized cats can breed. Under our new legislation, pet cat owners are bound by licensing conditions. This includes not letting their pet cats stray outside their premises and keeping cats under physical control in public, such as by using a harness or a carrier. Owners must also keep cats safe, such as by installing mesh or grills in high-rise residences. With majority of our population living in high-rise apartments, high-rise syndrome or falling from height is not uncommon and entirely preventable. We recognize that it takes time for cat owners to adapt to the new measures, so we introduced a 2-year transition period before enforcement kicks in. During the 2-year transition period, licensing is free and we have over 30,000 pet cats licensed to date. We also strongly encourage pet cat sterilization. This is incentivized through one-time, lifetime licenses for sterilized cats. For unsterilized cats, while the license is free during the transition period, renewal of the license after the transition period will incur fees. To encourage owners to license their cats, we try to make it as easy as possible for them to do so. Since last year, we have microchipped over 3,000 cats at our free microchipping and licensing drives. AVS has over 30 drives island-wide in 2025, held at schools, community centers, vet clinics, and pet-related events. These drives help owners who may not be able to afford microchipping and also helps raise awareness. Not all pet owners may be able to afford to sterilize their pet cats. Thus, we introduced the Pet Cat Sterilization Support Program, or PCSS for short, which provides free sterilization and microchipping for pet cats in lower income households. This allows early intervention to stem unintended breeding and downstream disamenities and animal welfare issues arising from overpopulation. AVS partners the Singapore Vet Association and Cat Welfare Society in this program, which is supported by donations through NParks charity, the Garden City Fund. We strive to remove as many potential barriers as possible. AVS transports eligible pet cats from owners' doorsteps to vet clinics and back. We have received very strong demand under PCSS. Besides sterilization at vet clinics, AVS also holds high-volume spay days under the PCSS. We typically sterilize about 100 pet cats from lower-income households at each spay day. The cats are collected from owners' doorsteps, fasted overnight at our government shelter, sterilized and microchipped, and returned to owners the next day along with a goodie bag of cat food, litter, and educational materials. We work closely with the Singapore Vet Association, Cat Welfare Society, and Temasek Polytechnic on our spay days. It is a lot of effort to set up the logistics, but this is a meaningful initiative with strong support from volunteer vets and vet nurses. Vet nursing students also have valuable hands-on opportunities. Moving on from pet to community cats, the second part of our cat management framework is the Trap, Neuter, Rehome, Release, Manage program, or TNRM for short. This is a national sterilization program where free-roaming cats are humanely captured, sterilized, microchipped, ear-tipped on the left ear for easy visual identification, and released back to the environment if they cannot be rehomed. We actually started sterilization efforts under the Stray Cat Sterilization Program in 2011, where about 4,000 cats are sterilized and microchipped annually. The TNRM Cats program builds on these efforts. It is a holistic, active approach where AVS works closely with the Cat Welfare Society as our lead partner, as well as vets, other NGOs, and the community. We have enhanced funding support under TNRM, where we reimburse costs of trapping, sterilization, microchipping, pre- and post-sterilization boarding. AVS conducted a survey in 2021 and estimate that we have about 13,000 free-roaming cats in publicly accessible areas in Singapore. We also found that sterilization rates are much higher in these high-rise residential estates than in industrial and low-rise residential estates. These findings help with targeted TNRM efforts. Our TNRM program is slightly different to most other TNR programs with the addition of the M component for manage. This is where we work closely with NGOs and the community on public education and to address feedback on the cats. Here we have a set of community cat caregiving guidelines which have been developed with NGOs, community cat caregivers, agencies and municipalities. It promotes responsible caregiving practices such as provision of proper food and medical attention, clearing leftover food to prevent litter and pests, and encouraging sterilization and microchipping. In 2022, AVS opened our Center for Animal Rehabilitation, which is the first national facility dedicated to canine rehabilitation. We also have cat socialization activities to increase rehoming opportunities for cats. Here you can see some of our cat rooms, where cats are group housed with plenty of enrichment and vertical space. Our staff like to spend their free time here for cat therapy. Finally, we have education and outreach to promote responsible pet ownership and community cat caregiving. AVS has our signature Pets Day Out event, where we have a very popular Chat with a Vet section. We also have a Pets Mania program where children can learn what it's like to be a vet, groomer, or dog trainer. We also have educational talks and games, adoption drives with our NGO partners, and a pet-related marketplace. Pets Day Out is often held in our parks and is always well received by the public. We have a strong publicity and communications campaign, leveraging traditional and social media to raise awareness on pet cat licensing and sterilization and support programs. We have educational outreach through Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, sharing about the process of microchipping and sterilization and dispelling related myths. For instance, pet owners may not realize how small a microchip is and that microchipping is a very quick procedure which most cats do not react to. Pet owners also don't realize that cats can breed from as young as 4 months of age. We leverage influencers and key opinion leaders, especially since many pet owners get their information from social media and friends rather than from authority websites. Getting our message to the community is very important, and not all pet owners are digitally savvy. We put up posters at bus stops and lift lobbies of HDB estates. These are some of my favorites: a paw to fist bump as the lift doors close, and cute digital displays in multiple languages. The new cat management framework is just another chapter in our cat management journey. We will continue to support pet cat microchipping and licensing, target data-driven TNRM of cats in breeding hotspots, and enhance education and outreach efforts. In spite of all our messaging, we know education can only go so far, so we will be looking at human behavior change strategies. What are the capabilities, opportunities, and motivations for cat owners to sterilize their cats? To me, this is an important part of successfully implementing a policy. Having a One Health approach and involving our social scientist colleagues to increase adoption of a policy. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you would like more information on our cat management framework, do visit our AVS website.